It is 23 minutes past 7. A new government advert asks members of the public to look into the eyes of exhausted doctors and patients suffering from the effects of COVID, appealing to the viewer's conscience.
Look them in the eyes and tell them you're doing all you can to stop the spread of COVID-19. Stay home, protect the NHS, save lives.
Well, it is a powerful message, but what does it mean in practice for workers who can't afford to take time off, perhaps because they're on very low pay, they're in insecure employment, or they worry about losing their jobs, or perhaps they're self-employed? We know that isolation rates among these groups are low. That's why the government has considered giving upfront cash to people, trying to persuade them to do the right thing. I've been speaking to a woman we're going to call Maria. She works as a cleaner in an office building in London. She became ill earlier in the month. To start with, she carried on going to work because she couldn't afford, she said, to get by on her own very low sick pay. She eventually tested positive for COVID-19. We were put in touch with her through the union that represents her, the Independent Workers' Union of Great Britain. Her words are spoken by a producer. And I started by asking her where she thinks she caught COVID.
I think on the bus or the tube, because lots of people are going in to work. The buses are quite often full. Lots of people don't wear masks. I think it's most likely on public transport because the only time I go out is to go to work. The rest of the time, I'm at home. I have an older mother, so I'm very careful because of that. But I still got it.
Maria, when you first began to feel ill, did you think, I need to stop going to work? Did it ever occur to you that you needed to stop going to work?
I was a little unwell. I had a headache, but I didn't have symptoms like a cough, nothing like that. Every day I started to feel a little more tired. Then on the Wednesday and Thursday, 7th January, I started to feel a bit bad. My sister told me I should go straight home. There was no one else coming in to work on the floor where I was working, but the company forced me to go in to work. I asked them if I could go home, but they told me no, that I had to do all my hours. I carried on going to work because I don't have proper sick pay. As a low-paid casual worker, £19 every day. I work 5 hours a day. I can't live on the money, that's why I was going in to work. But by the Monday, I started to feel very ill, and that was when I tested positive.
And Maria, when you tested positive, what was the advice given to you about what you should do?
The NHS phoned me. They told me that I had to stay at home for 10 days. That's it. I called the company on the Sunday because I felt very unwell. I had a bad headache and a fever. On the Monday, I sent them my positive test and I told them I wasn't going to come to work, that I was going to stay at home because I didn't feel up to working in that situation.
So Maria, in the end, when you stayed at home, you lost quite a lot of money.
Unfortunately, yes, because I've already been at home for 2 weeks and I might not be able to go to work next week because I still feel faint and fatigued and I feel a bit disoriented by the fever and headache I've had. I only receive £95 because I only have 5 hours, which is very little for me and a very low salary for all casual workers.
Maria, would you have stayed away from work as soon as you began to feel ill, indeed have got a test, if there had been a sum of money, a big sum of money, hundreds of pounds, that could have been paid to you immediately then?
Yes, of course, absolutely. If the first day I started to feel ill, I received better pay, I could have stayed at home. I went to work because the sick pay is very low. It's not just me. There are lots of workers like me. Come the end of the month, our bills are the same. You can't pay the rent or feed your family.
Maria, you sound like a very nice person. I just wonder how you feel about being in a position where you may well have passed on the virus to other people.
For the first few days, I didn't know if it was the virus. I didn't have a cough. Honestly, it's very sad that I tested positive and could have infected other people. But at the same time, it's the government's fault. The government is neither protecting nor supporting low-paid casual workers. There should be stricter rules for companies, for office blocks which stay open. These are buildings which are not essential. There should be a fine like the one they are putting in place for individuals who don't follow the rules. We are key workers. We should have better conditions, adequate sick pay, extra money for people like us who are going into work because we are risking our health and the health of our families. We haven't been put in a position where we are able to protect the NHS.
Maria, thank you so much for sparing the time to talk to us, and I'm glad you're feeling a bit better too. Thank you.
The time is